TomoNews presents United Airlines.
Abuse of power? United Airlines is once again embroiled in controversy after a passenger complained that she was booted from her first-class seat to make room for a Texas lawmaker. On December 18th, Jean Marie Simon was in Houston, waiting to board the last leg of her round-trip DC to Washington flight. Simon bought first-class tickets and was supposed to be in seat 1A, but the gate agent who scanned her ticket found that it wasn't in the system and asked her if she had canceled her flight. Her seat had apparently been taken, and she was given a $500 voucher and reseated in Economy Plus. Simon soon found out her seat had ultimately been given to U.S. Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, a Houston Democrat. Another congressman on the flight also told her Jackson Lee made the habit of bumping passengers off flights, and it was the third time he'd personally seen her do it. Simon also says a flight attendant approached her after she snapped a photo of Jackson Lee and threatened to have her removed if she caused problems. Responding to the incident, Jackson Lee claimed she never asked for special treatment, before then saying Simon may have easily targeted her as an African-American woman. Simon flatly denies the racism accusation. She has since written the United CEO of her ordeal, but has only received an apology from a resolution manager. The 63-year-old private school teacher has yet to receive a formal apology from the company.
Honeymooners save plane with fuel leakage but get left stranded. A newly married couple flying to Italy for their honeymoon cruise were thrown off course before they could leave the ground when they saw an unusual sight out of their cabin window. Which airline were they flying? United, of course. On June 14th, Mike and Rachel Brumfield boarded their flight in Newark, New Jersey, but when they got to their seats, they spotted fluid pouring out of the plane's left wing. As it turns out, what they saw draining out was jet fuel. Somehow, not one member of the flight crew happened to notice the issue before takeoff, and had the couple not spoken up, the plane might have crashed into the Atlantic Ocean. For their critical observation, you'd think United Airlines would come up with a special gesture to show gratitude, right? Wrong! The newlyweds say they learned their flight was canceled and all the passengers received hotel vouchers for the night, except them. Furthermore, they say United employees were super rude to them and had no idea where their luggage was. They were forced to sleep on the floor of the airport and rushed to arrange a flight at another airport to make it to Venice on time for their honeymoon cruise. When reached for comment, United Airlines declined to address the couple's claims, only offering a general statement regarding the flight cancellation. Classy.
United Airlines strikes again. The airline everyone loves to hate is once again in the headlines, this time for giving away a toddler's seat and forcing him to sit on his mom's lap for the entire flight. Shirley Yamauchi and her 27-month-old son were on the final leg of an 18-hour journey from Hawaii to Boston on June 29th. United Airlines agents at Houston's Bush Airport scanned their tickets and let them through without incident. But once on board, a passenger who'd been on standby arrived with a ticket for her son's seat, which she'd paid nearly $1,000 for. She notified a flight attendant about the confusion, but the woman just shrugged and told her the flight was full. Wary of making a scene and getting the David Dow treatment, Yamauchi was forced to hold her son on her lap for the entire 3.5-hour flight. The toddler was in several contorted sleeping positions before eventually ending up standing between her knees. After getting off the plane, Yamauchi told agents at the gate of her ordeal. They directed her to customer service, who then told her to call the hotline. Thanks, guys. So helpful. United's excuse is that the ticket was scanned incorrectly, making it look like it wasn't checked in. Which sounds like a pile of horse dung, if you ask us. The airline's own guidelines require children 2 years and older to have a seat. But guess those rules don't count if there's an opportunity to grab a couple $100, huh? Get it together, United!
United keeps sending dogs to the wrong cities. United has been on a roll when it comes to pets. United Flight 3996 from Newark to St. Louis actually had to be diverted last Thursday because the geniuses found a dog that was accidentally aboard the plane. The four-legged flyer was supposed to be flying to Akron, Ohio, but was put on the wrong flight to St. Louis. The plane then had to take an extra 2-hour detour to drop the pup off in Akron to its owners. The airline's blunder turned a 2-hour trip into a 4-hour escapade for the passengers, who were compensated for the delay, hopefully not with another free United flight. Last week wasn't the best for United. They also suffocated a lady's French bulldog puppy and sent another dog to Japan instead of Kansas. United needs to seriously consider carrying only pets from now on. I mean, what could go wrong?
Big Bunny dies after United Airlines flight. United Airlines is facing more PR problems after this humongous rabbit died while traveling with the airline from England to the US. The 10-month-old, 3-foot-long continental giant rabbit called Simon was expected to grow up to become the biggest bunny in the world. But owner Annette Edwards is now demanding compensation from United and the return of the rabbit's corpse to the UK for an autopsy. United insists Simon was alive and hopping when he was taken off the flight in Chicago on April 19th, and there was definitely no need to ask, "Hey, what's up, Doc?" An airline spokesman said the giant rabbit appeared healthy and showed no signs of distress upon landing. Simon went to sleep in a pet facility run by the airline, but 30 minutes later, an employee opened his cage and found the rabbit dead. The spokesman said the airline had offered to perform a necropsy on the rabbit, free of charge, but Edwards declined. Rabbit breeder Edwards said Simon was expected to grow to be the world's biggest bunny after his father Darius grew to a length of 4 feet 4 inches. Edwards said Simon had a veterinary checkup just 3 hours before takeoff from London's Heathrow Airport and was as fit as a fiddle. United said they have offered compensation to Simon's buyer in the States. The airline said it was saddened to hear of the giant bunny's death and was investigating the incident.
United Airlines starts longest nonstop flight from the U.S. United Airlines is known for its friendly customer service and has a reputation for always putting its passengers first. Now you can experience that first-rate service from LA all the way to Singapore. United Airlines has launched the longest nonstop flight from the U.S. from its Los Angeles hub to Singapore. The 14,000-kilometer trip takes 17 hours, 55 minutes to Singapore, and 15 hours, 15 minutes on the return trip. The flight will operate once a day on a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner with 252 seats combined in economy, economy plus, and business. The world's 2 longest routes belong to Qatar Airways' Doha-Auckland route at 14,536 kilometers and Emirates' Dubai-Auckland route at 14,193 kilometers. In terms of scheduled flying time, though, the new United route will be the longest due to the strong headwinds on the westbound portion of the flight. And for an added bonus, passengers can rest easy knowing that Singaporean cops don't have the same reputation for dragging Americans off planes.